Hello, welcome back to the Eternal Stories channel, where today we are doing part 6 of the D20 dungeon writing crawl. But this one's going to be a little bit different. So I have each roll here up to 60. But this one is going to be different than the other ones because it's going to be a quest of seeing how many it takes me to get to rolling a 20, because I have rolled 50 times and never gotten a 20. So it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes me to get there. I do have 25 squares here, and then I'll just mark each square for how many I get through. We might not even use this whole page. We might not go through 1,000 words, but I did leave the next page blank for now. I'm not planning any other videos right now until I finish this, because I don't know how long this is going to take. It might take us a few hundred words. It might take us a few thousand words. I don't know. So that's why this one is going to be the quest to getting as many words as possible and trying to roll a 20. I'm going to just get right into it. I also have decided to do this. I had a break for a little bit, and now it's getting later in the night, and I kind of like writing late at night sometimes because it's fun. So I'm going to start writing, or typing, I guess, whichever you prefer to go with. And then we will see if I roll a 20 on the first one, which would be amazing, or if we're going to be here for a while. So I'm just going to get right into it, because I don't know how long this is going to take. Okay, so of course, in this first 100 words of this vlog, I guess we'll say, of course I couldn't even get a number close to a 20. I rolled a 7, so obviously going another round. Someday I'll roll a 20. Someday. I don't know if this vlog is going to be ending today or on a different day. We'll see, I guess. But in this first 100 words of this set here, Xander and Celine have this awkward moment talking about how neither of them really socializes, because she doesn't really get out of the house because her parents are researchers, so she doesn't really have friends because she's awkward in general. And then Xander really never leaves the house because he's a vampire, and being in the sun is not good for them, so he doesn't really socialize either. And then towards the end of this 100 words, he starts to say that he wants to tell her his life story, basically, and maybe that will help her understand more about the supernatural world, because he doesn't really know how to, I don't know, share it with her without kind of telling her all at once. So he thinks that maybe this way would be a little bit easier. We'll see what happens, but I think that the story is interesting enough at the moment, but I think I'm gonna probably add more detail to it later. We'll see what happens when I edit it later. But for now, I think I'm gonna go with what's here, and then if I think of anything as I'm typing it, I'll edit it a little bit, but not really too much, I don't think. But I am gonna write another 100 words and see if we can roll a 20. Probably not, but we'll see what happens. Alright, another 100 words written, and still not a 20. I rolled a 13 this time, and in this part he actually does start telling her his story, starting at like the very beginning, like when he was a kid, and he learned of the curse that he's living with now, and how they would go to healers and stuff, and they couldn't really figure it out or anything like that. I think in the next 100 words He's obviously going to reveal a little bit more, but I don't know how much more because I don't know how long these paragraphs are. This one, I'm not even done with the paragraph and it's already 79 words long. So we'll see if I get through a new another paragraph, or if I learn anything new about his story, or I guess, because I already kind of know as I'm typing these, I'm kind of remembering them. So we'll see how far I get with that. I feel more and more like this is going to take quite some time to roll a 20. So I'm glad I set this up the way I did, because the way it's set up here, I can add more of these here, and I could add more boxes going this way, and then I can just reserve the next page for writing my little short 1 to 2 sentence summaries about each 100 words. Just because, I don't know, it makes me feel better to fill up the page with stuff like that. So, we will continue on to the next 100 words. Alright, in these 100 words, we get to see... I'm a little bit tired here. Let's see how much further we can go. In these first 100 words, Xander thinks for a brief moment about why he was able to drink Celine's blood without dying. But then he just kind of catalogs that thought for later, because obviously there's other things to be thinking about right now. Obviously the story he's trying to tell her. And explaining the supernatural world to her in the hopes of eventually getting to the part of what happened at the ghost house and stuff like that. That's why this section is so long. And he's gonna end up finishing the story, and then she's gonna be asking questions along the way like she does, because she's a curious person. And I think that as we go, I'll be able to kind of edit a little bit. But I do want to kind of keep the idea of the story the same until I actually, end up finishing the entire story. And then I can go back in and make, like, style changes and things like that. So I'm going to write another 100 words, because it's actually getting a little bit difficult to fill these sections here. So I'm going to write the next 100 words, and we'll see what happens, because I have no idea. My brain is just like, write, and then that's about it. So I'm just going to get to it. Alright, so in this 100 words, Xander tells the really sad part of his story now, which is the part where his parents died trying to cure the curse that he believes he was all but born with. I mean, he did get it, or receive it, whatever, really early on in his life, so I don't know if, he thinks he was born with it or not. We'll see, how he ends up feeling about that later in the story. I also put my hair back because it's bothering me. Now I should get these bangs out of my face. I don't know why they always sit like this. I don't understand. Why can't they just... Anyways, he tells the sad part of his story, and he kind of rambles on at the end part because he's still obviously very upset about it, because vampire years, they work very different to the way human years would work. So he still feels a lot of feelings about his parents dying and stuff. So I think in the next part, Celine ends up asking something, and they kind of go back and forth on that. And we just get to see more about him and her asking questions about, you know, the kind of life he's lived and stuff, and it's very interesting, actually. It's very interesting, and I do enjoy the way this interaction goes. What is this piece of hair right here? Yeah, that's the piece of hair I'm trying to pull out to put here. The rest of this hair. There. Is it better now? Probably not. I'm trying so hard right now to get this hair to work with me just a little bit for this video, which I don't think it will, so I have to actually put it up in hair tie because one side is longer than the other. This is just me going insane for this video. I'm just gonna start writing some words though, because I am just I'm kind of losing it at this point, guys, so I'm just gonna start writing some words so I can at least keep this vlog moving. In this 100 words, Xander has to think about how long he's been alive because Celine asked him, and, you know, no one ever asked, so he kind of has forgotten himself, and he settles on 180, give or take a little bit, because he, honestly, for the life of him, really can't think how long it's been, because after, you know, a certain amount of time, it just kind of, it's just a number to him. So, he thinks about that, and, he just kind of, I don't know what the word is, but he's, like, kind of a little off now, because he's like, oh, well, that's an interesting question. I didn't really think about that. So, they'll get into more of a discussion about all the time he's been alive and stuff, but, I did roll a 2 for this section, and for the last one I rolled a 12, both not 20s, so we are continuing on. These numbers are all over the place, though, so I do not know where we will end up next, and I also don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing this tonight, because I am getting very tired. I'm gonna at least do another 100 words, and then we'll see how I feel, because this is getting difficult. Okay, so it is actually the next day, because after writing 600 more words, I got really tired, and I just couldn't really even think straight, so I went to bed. But in those 100 words, those last 100 words I wrote last night, Xander's having a little bit of, like, another internal conflict kind of thing, of him not being too happy about his idea to take a trip down, like, memory lane. It's more of, like, a walk down horror lane, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, so we are 6 rolls on this vlog into trying to get a 20. We're technically on 7, because we did roll for 21 time on the last one. So we are going to write another 100 words and just get back into the flow. I wrote 2,600 words yesterday, though, so I'm pretty happy about that. We'll see how many words this takes to write. I left the second page blank, so hopefully I will have enough room to write down everything. Okay, so starting off not so strong today. I rolled a 12, and we have 3 more rolls to see if we can get 20, or we're going to be going over 1,000 words to get there. which is fine because it's a new day. I'm ready to write so many more words. But in this 100 words, Selena asks Xander if anything good has happened since he's been alive for so long, and him trying to be all cool and stuff slides in the nice little, like, almost a pickup line of, oh, you know, I met you, and that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't, you know, alive this long. So, I'm not sure what's gonna happen next, if she's gonna say anything about it, or they'll just move on to something else. But, I do have high hopes for this. I think it's gonna be exciting to see what happens next and what the characters decide to do, because that's been the most fun for me, rewriting these sections that I've already written before, is getting to see what the characters were thinking at the time, what kind of new ideas I have now, and stuff like that. So I'm going to write another 100 words, roll the dice, and we'll see what happens. Wow, guys, I did it after 58 rolls. I finally rolled a 20, and that's the first 20 I've rolled this entire time. So, that's amazing. So this vlog is going to end on 800 words written for that, for this section, and I'm so happy it's finished. Honestly, I was prepared to take another 1,000 words to get there, and I had this whole little thing made. I left the next page blank for all this, and I didn't end up needing it, so I could put a different video there. But I finally did it, you guys. It took me 3 days, technically, to write all the words I needed. I wrote 5,800 words, and I have gotten so much written in this, this story that I do. If you can handle, you know, going through with something for that long, I would definitely recommend this, because I've written almost 6,000 words just writing 100 words, rolling a die, writing 100 words, rolling a die. You know, doing it like that, would I have written those words that fast otherwise? Probably not. Probably not. So, I do love this, this method. This was great. Definitely let me know down in the comments what any other kind of writing challenges or writing crawls you guys can think of, because I would love to try them and see if they help me write more. And as always, let me know how your writing is going, what your plans are for the rest of Preptober, because we're about halfway through now, almost. Today's the 12th, I believe. So, definitely let me know what your plans are for Preptober, NaNoWriMo, stuff like that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!